Alright guys, let's take a look at Casper on the channel once again, CSPR on the ticker. Now, we need to use gate.io for this. This isn't the normal setup, of course, so it's a little bit, harder to work with this with the recording device that I'm using. So I'm going to cut out, in and out a lot here, but bear with me, guys. So as you can see, I want to look at the volume profile for the fixed range. Now, we basically are still under a very large node here. We did get rejected basically back in end of November, middle November, early December. This node is more trading volume, than what we're trading in right now actually. So we need to really, get above, well, it starts at 2.6 cents and goes all the way up to about 3.5 cents. So this area is going to be a little bit tougher to push through because there's just more volume there. Now, if we lose this node, which we just, we're barely hanging on, 1.6 cents basically, we can drop down really quickly back down to 0.006 cents. Now, I hope and I pray that Casper won't do that. I actually bought a little bit more Casper with free money that I've gotten recently. I also got my wife some, and we've seen it drop back quite a bit, so it was kind of a bad buy at this point. But I do believe Casper is, going to be a fairly good project. Is it going to be hundreds of dollars? No. But can it make it 20, 30, 40, 50 cents? Yeah, maybe, So, yeah, let's try to, see if we can push through this. That's really Casper's next step. I don't really see any patterns, so much here. I mean, maybe there's kind of a flag, but, it kind of has to come up here. It's a very ugly flag if I would draw one. I don't think it's a real true flag, so I'm not going to draw it. But next resistance basically is about 2.4 cents. Let's just say 2.5 cents. So yeah, we need to, like I said, get above these nodes, and then 2.5 cents, retake that, reclaim it basically, and then we got to work our way back up to about the 5-cent range where it was for quite a while, guys. It consolidated between like May of 2022, until about March of 2024. So yeah, I mean, it was just hitting on 5 cents at least, during that time. 4 times, 5 times. So yeah. Anyways, now just taking a look at the RSI and Stochastic RSI on a weekly time frame. Actually, it's in neutral territory. It does look like it wants to curve back up with the Stochastic RSI here. It is pointed to the upside with the RSI on a weekly time frame here, so that is good to see. Let's see, I'm just going to zoom out. I'm not going to go in and out and restart the camera and everything. So yeah, the daily actually it was in oversold territory, and it got quite a big bounce. Looks like it wants to go to the upside. RSI going to the upside as well. It's still in right in the middle, so that's good to see. Now let's take a look at this on the 4-hour time frame. Basically, yeah. Now the RSI is still in good territory here. It is pointed down slightly, but the Stochastic RSI, this is overbought. So yeah, I mean, kind of a mixed signal there on the 4-hour time frame. Now let's take a look at the 1-hour time frame. And yeah, let me zoom out. So it is actually overbought on the RSI in the 1-hour time frame. It's pointed heavily to the downside with Stochastic RSI, but it's in kind of a neutral territory here. So let's see, it may start to curve back up, but it is pointed heavily to the downside. So the momentum is kind of shifting on the 1-hour time frame. Now on a 15-minute time frame, let's just take a look real quick. Actually, actually looks pretty good. On RSI, it's pointed slightly up, and the Stoke RSI is oversold. So in the really short term, it might pump a little bit. Now, like I said, kind of these 1 hour time frames and things, not the greatest, I would say. The longer time frames were probably better. So short term, very short term, probably going to see a little bit of a move. Now, in the medium term time frames, maybe we'll cool down a little bit, but when we're talking about daily and weekly, probably like, for example, next week or something, it could run again, so let's see. It may be coming to the end of its little pump, basically, but you never know, guys, and it's just my guess that that's what's going to happen. Now, let's take a look at the tokenomics, guys. So basically, there is no max supply. Circulating, you have 12.7 billion tokens circulating. That's, not too bad. I usually like to keep my projects under about 10 billion if I can. But, this one, I don't hold a lot. Like I said, guys, I have a very small bag of this because it has potential, but it's still high risk in my opinion. So I'm not going to put that much into it, but we'll see. You never know what can happen. All-time high, guys, it says $1.33, so I think that was the opening day or something, and it crashed down to, I don't know, to almost nothing. So anyways, it reminds me of ICP, basically, where it was going for hundreds and hundreds of dollars, and now it's just barely, $12 or whatever. $10 or whatever it is today. I haven't even looked at it. I don't even know. But yeah, 98% down from all-time high, which, if you just excluded that all-time high from that day or whenever it came out, it wouldn't be so much. But yeah, I mean, it's 98% down officially. So, if you're looking for something that, has potential, yeah, I mean, this could be a coin that I would recommend. I may pick up a little bit more of this actually myself. Just depends how much more free money I'm going to get in the next couple weeks or so. But yeah, it has potential. If you go back and look at like BitBoy Crypto, he made a video on this before. I'm not sure if it was on his other channel though. But anyways, it may have been deleted if that's the case. But he talks about this. I've seen other people talk about this project. It looks promising. So now let's take a quick look at Bitcoin here. You can see that basically today we are almost getting a bullish engulfing candle. This needs to come up a few $100s more, really, about $300 more, and then we'll get a bullish engulfing candle from yesterday. So that would be really nice. Now we still have a little bit of time today. Several hours still, so it's very possible that we could see this happen. Now yesterday, like I said, I was getting worried. I think we were somewhere around here yesterday when I made the videos, and yeah, it looks like we almost caught support on this line here. I mean, we were only like a few dollars away, really. Maybe $20 or so, but anyways, guys, looks like we pretty much caught support at 91.1 basically, and yeah, we're getting that bounce. Now we have gotten rejected today, basically by 95.6. We didn't quite make it up to this Fibonacci here at 96.150. So let's see what happens, guys. Tonight basically, starts the weekend, so I don't think there's going to be too much action on the weekend. But let's see. I think we'll probably consolidate between these two lines, and probably Monday try to continue up. Now Ethereum, on the other hand, guys, has taken a little bit more of a hit recently, and is not faring so well like Bitcoin actually. You can see that it is holding on to the Fibonacci level. It has retested this today, actually. Now, the only good thing I can see is it didn't have such a wick like yesterday down into this Fibonacci. just barely wicked into it. You know, if I zoom in, you'll see it a little bit better. So, yeah, you know, that is good. But we do need to start working our way back up into this range again. We need to get above 33.13, like where we were for many days before, guys. You can see we kind of consolidated here. Now we did dip down into this, you know, region here where we are right now, but it was just a quick dip. So don't want to spend too long here. You know, we need to get back in this range and start working our way back up. Now, taking a look at the total market cap, guys, it's similar to Bitcoin on its, you know, daily candles. It's almost a bullish engulfing candle here, you know, right here from the previous day. So we also almost went up to the 3.28 trillion mark. We're at about the same height we were yesterday, you know, where it got rejected basically. So yeah, I mean, it needs to start working its way back up to 3.28 trillion. You know, overtake that, and then we can worry about 3.62 trillion next. Now, if we take a look at the total market cap excluding Bitcoin, guys, it's actually crossing the 1.34 trillion, you know, line here. Yesterday we were below it, and we did actually close below it, but it looks like we're going to close above it today, so that is a good sign, guys. Keep in mind this is a weekly time frame resistance, though. Actually, it's a support right now as we're above it, but this is kind of the wrong time to look on it, or look at it, you know. So basically, you should be looking at this on a weekly time frame, not a daily time frame like we are. But the longer the candle, you know, over these lines, the better. So, anyways, let's see what happens now, guys. But yeah, it doesn't look like it wants to go too far below 1.32 trillion. There is quite a bit of support here. You know, probably on daily time frame, we could put another, you know, line here. But anyways, guys, let's take a quick look at the dominance. Now, the dominance is actually, looks like it still wants to go up. It wants to follow this line, and that is not a good sign, guys. So, yeah, it looks like it's going to try to form this W pattern. You know, if it breaks 59.16, guys, we're in trouble. Serious trouble. So technically, you know, that would take us pretty far up. You know, it probably would actually take us to new highs. I'm not going to measure it though, guys. It's just, you know, we'll take a look at it when it gets to that point. If it gets up here to this neckline, we may measure this, but let's just wait and see, you know, what's in store. So this is the daily time frame. So basically, you know, today it really hasn't gone too far, you know, between its top and its bottom. Now, right now, it is kind of getting a push. But yeah, I mean, it's not a large candle today. You know, compared to the previous days, I mean, this is kind of a tiny candle, and we're almost done with today. Now, talking about liquidations, basically, it's not that much. It's 317 million, you know, so it's still not billions. So, yeah, still okay. You know, I mean, Bitcoin is just kind of going sideways. But today, more shorts are being wrecked than longs, so that's actually good to see, in my opinion. And yeah, if we take a quick look at the altcoin season index, guys, I refreshed this right before the video. It was at 51. So yeah, we slightly went down. And guys, that's pretty much due to this dominance, and you know, it's just trying to push up right now. So again, I don't know how often this is updated as well. Just have to kind of wait and see, but we are still above these two peaks, which, you know, my theory was that we would pretty much maintain these two peaks. Now, we did kind of dip a couple of times under it really quickly, but for the most part, we've been above, you know, these two peaks, which is, you know, good to see in my opinion. Now, this is kind of a pleasant surprise in my opinion. We are down at 50. Now, this is kind of a big surprise, like for me. I didn't expect to cool down so much. Now, I know yesterday I did say I was starting to get a little bit nervous that we were going to break 91.1, but I think a lot of people were feared by that. You know, dropping below 90K was a true fear. So today at a 50, which is fine with me. If we stay at 50 for a while, that's, you know, it gives us time to cool down. And however, I don't believe this is going to be 50 tomorrow, just by the way that Bitcoin, you know, is working its way up today. So yeah, I mean, this is kind of a nice little bounce all the way from 91.1 to where we're at right now. I mean, 94.7. So yeah, I just don't expect that we're going to stay at 50. Probably, my guess is somewhere between 55 and 60 is the next stop for this Fear and Greed Index. Pi cycle top indicator, guys, still quite far from crossing. I can zoom in here, but yeah, like, you know, it is curving up, but it's going to take time, guys. So it's still, I would say, at least 6 months away. Now, next week, guys, we do have some economic data to really look at. On Monday, we have the consumer inflation expectations from New York Fed. That's important. Now, Tuesday, we do have PPI. That's super important. Wednesday, we have CPI. And we also have New York Empire State Manufacturing Index. And we do have a couple of FOMC members speaking. So that's going to be kind of a big day. Now, Thursday, we have jobless claims, Philadelphia manufacturing. We also got retail sales. You know, we have a speaker here, Williams. Yeah, I mean, core retail sales also. These are all pretty big as well. Now, Friday, there's not much going on, so that's kind of good. We kind of get a break at the end of the week. But, yeah, next week is going to be fairly big, guys. Monday, small economic data, I would say. Tuesday, a little bit bigger, but Wednesday is probably the biggest day. So, you know, Thursday is, you know, maybe I would say comparable to Tuesday. But anyways, yeah, watch Wednesday for sure. But, you know, most of the days next week have something important. Now, due to the disastrous non-farm payrolls today, guys, we have 97% believing that we're not going to get a cut this month, which, yeah, I don't think we're going to get a cut either. I've been saying that all along. And today just further, you know, push that incentive, basically, that we're not going to cut this month. Now, I do believe March, June, September, and December probably will get cuts. That is just my opinion. That's my guess. I think we're going to see better CPI numbers and PPI numbers and PC, PE, all of these numbers. So they're probably going to look at that and cut, I believe. Now, we have still like 2 months before March. Anything can happen. So let's hope that we get better economic numbers. But I do believe we will probably cut in March. You know, if we don't, maybe in May and then June and then September and December. So I still think there's going to be 4 cuts on the table. Now, the market believes 1. So let's see who's right. Now, this is a beautiful sight to see after we saw so much red the last couple of days. You know, and yeah, I mean, there's just, it's not hard to be green when you've had so much red lately either. But none of these are really super green. Pretty much like, I think yesterday, everything was like 2, 3, 4, maybe 5% red. These are all 2, 3, 4, 5% green. So basically, you're just taking back what you lost yesterday almost. Now, there are a couple of outliers, of course, like Phantom, Algo, Sui, you know. So, yeah, that's nice to see. And, you know, if you want to stake your coins, guys, go to Coinondo. You know, for example, type in Bitcoin. You will see a list here. Basically, they give you the amount of days you have to stake. They give you limits. Be careful. Read everything. You don't want to get stuck in a position, guys, that you can't get out of if you really want to sell. Or if the bull market comes to an end, you know, hey, you need to take your profit. So be careful. I'm personally looking for flexible or 30 days. You know, I've done 60 with BNB just because of the mega drop lately. Now, I don't think the bull run is going to end in 60 days anyways, but you never know, guys. It's a risk. Anyways, guys, if you like this video, like, subscribe, activate the bell, and I'll see you guys in the next one.